A lot of the DJs in Atlanta crippled the music industry. Now I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack about this. I know I am. So come on, I'm ready for it. But it is what it is. I didn't do it. The DJs had a lot to do with crippling Atlanta's music industry. And to be honest with you, there haven't really been any good artists or music. Well, I take that back. It has been good artists, but music wise, the kind of music that you can play 10 years from now and it's gonna still be, it's gonna still pop. And when I say Atlanta, I'm talking about, and I'm just gonna read it here, and I may miss a few or some, and y'all are free to correct me. But when I talk about Atlanta, I'm talking about Grady Baby Atlanta, Crawford Lawn Atlanta, Southwest Hospital Atlanta. I think there was a Southside Hospital, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Piedmont Atlanta, Northside Atlanta, Emory Atlanta, you know, those Atlanta, and I know I missed some Atlanta hospitals, and maybe some of y'all was born at home or whatever. And even those that have been here for more than 25 years and have made Atlanta their home, like, Tony Braxton and Ludacris, and, people like them that have Usher have made Atlanta their home and still gave Atlanta that shine, the brag, and artists like that have not come from Atlanta but have given Atlanta its shine. The last time I can really say, that we had some really good quality music might have came from, maybe Jeezy or but I'm just gonna take it back for a second, and I'm looking down because I wrote down my notes. And when I talk about music, I'm talking about the TIs, the Killer Mikes, the Outcasts, the Monicas, Escape, TLC, CeeLo Green, Goody Mob, Young Jeezy, Lil Jon, Chris Cross, Migos, Two Chains, Dungeon Family, music that you can actually hear 10 years from now. Even the Yin Yang twins, you know what I'm saying? And Lil Jon and Gucci Mane even got some stuff you can hear 10 years from now. And it's going to still pop. And a lot of the DJs in Atlanta play a heavy part in ruining. Well, I wouldn't say ruin, but they did cripple the music industry here. A lot of the DJs had the persona of being a celebrity themselves. They are to a degree due to the popularity, but a lot of them put themselves on par with rap artists, singers, so on and so forth, to the point to where they're asking women for favors. And I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to make that on here to where I'm just putting it out there, but you know what I'm talking about. Asking for favors and giving false hope to a lot of women that they know they couldn't do anything for. And for the men, they're asking for knowing they couldn't do anything for them. So when it came time to like pay up, a lot of them didn't show up and no music got played on the radio. You're thinking, okay, I have paid this DJ. My stuff is going to be on the radio because that's what they tell you. That's the illusion that they give you. And you just have your hopes up so high. And then what hit me was one day when I was outside of a club and here I am looking at this DJ's vehicle. And I'm like, how is he supposed to help me, come up and be a star? And he's not even driving a better vehicle than I am. And not only was it the DJs, it was a lot of the promoters that came here. A lot of the promoters were from here, but there was a lot of them that came here and gave off this dream of I can do this for you. I can do that for you. And you have to learn and you have to finagle your way. But for those that was right there spinning the song, what they weren't spinning the music, but they was right there where it was. So it gave a lot of people hope that the DJs could actually help them. And then when you see them in person, a lot of them don't want to speak to you. They have this you know type attitude. So hold on. And I'm not gonna say all of them. It was enough of them. It was just enough of them. Let me give you one example. Akbar V, she's from Atlanta. And I've heard some of Akbar's music. The girl got some bars. Akbar is really, really tough when it comes to spitting. You know what I'm saying? But what is she known for? She's not known for her music. She's known for fighting. So I can remember when she got into it with one of the cast member from LHH. You know what I mean? And when they called her to the radio station, they didn't call her to the radio station to interview her on her latest project. They called her to the radio station to talk about what had happened between two black women that, that can further tear each other down, that could further tear each other apart. And the DJs, men now, all in the middle of this. And a lot of men be in the middle of women's business. There's other things for you to do. If you can't go build something or make something, you shouldn't be in the middle of things that women got going on. But unfortunately, that was the case. And it's sad that we don't know anything about this lady's music. Instead about her, we know about her fighting. Instead of helping her to elevate herself with her music so that she could be the mother she needs to be for her kids. Now, for me, as an artist, as a lyricist, what people call me, Atlanta wouldn't let lyricists get through. It was like they was a part of, putting out the music that can, the drill music and all this kind of stuff. There could have been, more great artists coming out of Atlanta. But a lot of good artists, even the ones that had good crunk music, was stopped. Because if you're not giving them up front, then you're not going to get on like that. But don't lie to people. Don't give them false hope, having them come out to different events and paying to get in and paying to park and paying this and paying that. And if you don't have your ID, you got to pay security to get in. It's just a mess. So a lot of them had a lot to do with the industry crumbling like it did. And I know it's not all of their fault. There's the powers that be behind it. But at the end of the day, they played into the trope to where women was used or misused for sexual favors and all that good stuff. But, bad stuff, rather. Hold on one second. Look, there was a time when hip hop saved lives. There was a time when we talked about real issues and the things that was going on in the world. That's the kind of music I made. But they don't want my kind of music. They wanted the kind of music for people who they felt had a short attention span. Now hip hop is being blamed for lives being taken, and that's not fair. So, like I said, when it comes to the DJs, a lot of them knew about what was going on with the powers that be. A lot of things were out of their control, and I get that. However, they did not have to add on to it by taking advantage of people and, getting what they wanted out of the deal, which crippled not only hip hop, but it also crippled us in our community. Now the Black Mecca is being threatened. I don't believe the Black Mecca is gone. I just believe that, real music and everything need to come back. They wouldn't let my kind of music out, and it need to be more artists that have good lyrics to come out to show what hip hop is truly is, because people are just getting fed up and going back to the 90s music and so on and so forth. I have 2 albums that I have yet to even put out. But like I said, this is going to be a 2-part video. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up and get ready for part 2. And I have more to come on more things talking about my city, Atlanta. Y'all stay tuned, okay? Give me a second. Bye.